President Yoon Suk Yeol's impeachment trial continues on Tuesday with its ninth hearing. But there's still uncertainty over whether the hearings will stretch beyond this week. We connect to our Oh Soo-young at the Constitutional Court for more. Soo-young, give us a rundown of what the hearing will look like today. Now, I understand the president might not attend today, right?
Good morning, Dami. Yes, indeed. Today's hearing is going to begin at 2 p.m. and President Yoon's lawyers say that it's undecided at the moment whether or not he'll be showing up. The president actually missed his first two hearings, but since then he's attended his six most recent ones. According to court officials, today's session is intended for each side, the National Assembly's impeachment team and President Yoon's lawyers, to for and against impeachment, as well as go over evidence that the bench hasn't covered so far, as the last few trials focused on witness examinations. Now, to go over the main arguments made so far, the National Assembly's panel has claimed that Yoon's declaration of martial law was illegal, as he did not procedures, as was his proclamation of martial law decrees. The panel says Yoon also tried to disrupt parliamentary activities by deploying troops to the National Assembly and the National Election Commission and tried to arrest judicial figures. Meanwhile, Yoon insists that martial law was constitutional as his executive right. He says that the opposition party had made it impossible for the government to function by constantly impeaching officials, railroading controversial bills and cutting the government budget. He also cited suspicions of election fraud at the Election Commission and called on the court to investigate the Commission's servers and ballot papers for irregularities.
Well, on top of that, it's still unclear whether the court will accept President Yoon's appeal to postpone Thursday's hearing, which is supposedly the very last hearing, right?
Right, so when asked about it on Monday, Court Press Officer Chun Jae-yeon said that no decision has been made so far. So presumably the justices will be revealing their decision during today's hearing, either at the start of it or near the end, as they did last time. And Yoon's lawyers, they're expected to strongly push for postponement during today's session, as they also have to prepare for Yoon's criminal trial proceedings, which begin on Thursday morning. Now, 15 lawyers are working on the criminal case, but 13 of them are also covering the impeachment trial. So the lawyers have been calling for the twice-weekly trials to be reduced to one hearing a week, saying that it's critical for Yoon's right to legal defence. However, the National Assembly's impeachment team has called on the court to not postpone the sessions. Meanwhile, the National Human Rights Commission on Monday adopted a statement calling for a lawful trial process that ensures the right to defend oneself in court.
And Soo-young, this all affects the timeline of the verdict, which has taken around 2 weeks in the past?
Yes, Dami, I mean, I would say that too. And let's say that the court sticks to the current pace of things, then any trial hearing scheduled after this would be one more hearing, I think, would be needed to wrap up the arguments and also hear a final closing statement from Yoon. And then a verdict would be delivered in the first half of March, I would presume. But if the court decides to delay the 10th trial and adjust the date to next week, next Tuesday, as President Yoon's lawyers have insisted, then any additional hearings after that, possibly one or two, that would significantly lengthen the trial process, especially if the trial dates are scheduled 7 days apart.
It's a real high-stakes decision whether or not to postpone the 10th hearing on Thursday. Soo-young, let's wait and see. Thank you for the coverage this morning.